It's the Let's Go Eat and Drink Show with hosts Jimmy Santangelo and Bill Allred. Your announcer, Zach Caton, and we're coming to you live on tape from Casat in the heart of the 15th and 15th neighborhood. Casat, a wine and craft cocktail bar at 1508 South, 1500 East in the Great Salt Lake City. Our guests today are the hosts of the TV Tan podcast. Tommy Milagro writes about professional wrestling, which he insists is real, for Slam Wrestling. And Bill Frost is a Utah journalist who has been covering TV entertainment since the 90s. Bill also plays guitar in a couple of bands, Magda-Vega and Dead Zephyrs. And now, here are your hosts, Jimmy and Bill.
I'm not hearing anything in these headphones, whichever ones they are. I'm hearing nothing. It's been number one. Number one.
Okay.
Oh, there it is.
1, 2, 3. Could you drop me down just a squeak?
Okay.
You guys been here before?
No, this is the first time.
It's too high end for me too.
I remember this was kind of like a little tucked away sort of thing when I was growing up.
Tommy, it is still a little tucked away kind of thing. And Tom, you're still growing up.
In more ways than one.
They need a foot rail for this bar. A boot rail.
Yeah, they do. Do you have under your stool? Do you have?
It's
gonna push up your stool.
You flip this over. 4 of us can sit down.
you know the word stool. The first thing that comes to my mind is one of these. Not the other. Not the way you guys are.
Well, boys, the way that the show starts. Well, Dawson, why don't you tell us? What do we got going on? I don't want to take over.
Are you rolling
your
now?
thunder.
Even so what happens a lot of times is that Dawson. He's recording this now, and most of this will also be on.
Oh, okay. So this is the outtakes here.
I don't.
Right. As long as the shirt is prominently displayed. Yes, I know.
There it is.
About wearing the merch, but
That is a good shirt.
I don't wear my own merch.
Sure wish I had a shirt like that.
Well, we got plenty of them.
Hey,
So, Dawson, what are we to expect? Love it.
So this is roughly like 3 hours, right? This is like a Howard Stern thing.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
so basically it's like our show, except again highfalutin.
Except
The TV Tan podcast. Well, I guess we should officially begin this. Phones on mute. Everyone, is that a doable thing?
Mine's in the back there, but I think it's too
Well, is it loud? I mean, is it really loud?
No,
Even if it's in the back
I
room?
muted it, so I think we're okay there.
Okay, so it's muted, Tom, and it is far away from us.
Yes.
Okay, thanks for being
I'm going to make mine louder.
Thanks for being very explicit about that.
Have you missed me?
No, I was just.
Can't wait to get to the drinking part of the show.
I know. This is me sober at the moment.
I was just thinking how nice it was that you hardly ever call in anymore.
I missed you too.
Tommy Milagro used to work for us constantly. Called himself the button pusher and was a board op. But who we have here? Welcome to the show, everybody. This is, we want to thank our sponsor, Beehive Cheese. Thank you to the nice folks here at Casat for letting us use this beautiful bar, which this bar, by the way, imported from Italy by Mark, the giant basketball player guy.
Mark Eaton?
Mark Eaton owning,
he had
Tuscany.
He had it in Tuscany. And then when that all went away, it was put into storage, and I don't know how Scott Evans, the Casat guy, I can't remember the exact story of how
he came across
saw
it.
and he said, "Oh, well, this is just sitting in storage." And Mark Eaton's wife said, "You want to buy it?" And he said, "Absolutely."
Fits perfect. Look at this.
I was pointing out to
Gorgeous.
the guys earlier that this used to be a bicycle shop.
That's
Beehive Cyclery.
Yep, I remember that.
I brought my bike here a few times to get serviced.
You didn't bring it today, did you?
No.
Okay.
It's sorely disappointing. Just like rub some cheese on it and we'll go.
Beehive cheese, no less.
Yes.
Yeah, who we are, the voices you hear on the podcast here, and thank you for listening and watching if you are, and if you're not, fuck you.
Okay, it's one of those kind of podcasts. Good to know.
This is
We're gaining them by the dozens.
Yes.
it's
So this is like our wheelhouse, essentially. I feel better.
I walked
Winning
in,
over listeners left and right.
I walked in and I said, who invited these guys? These are the hosts of the TV Tan podcast, Bill Frost and Tommy Milagro, and the TV Tan podcast is moving close to its 500th episode. Is that right?
Wow.
We say we're slogging towards 500.
Yes.
Hey, cheers to that. Let's raise a glass to that. That's pretty awesome.
And what do we have?
Congratulations.
What do we have here, Jimmy?
Oh, this is by Simplicity Cocktail. Their margarita with May in the works. I know we're not date sensitive here on the show, but I wanted to celebrate Cinco de Mayo coming up and the next couple of series. But Simplicity Cocktail, canned cocktail, their Cadillac margarita. Wow.
Something I keep cutting out. Do you guys keep cutting out, or is that just me?
No, I'm
Nope.
fine.
I'm good.
There's something loose then. We'll.
You got something loose there, Bill?
I think. Well, yeah. I'm sorry.
That's what's dangling.
Forgive me. I thought I felt something cold, and
Yeah.
I was
Slight breeze.
I've told this story before, not on the podcast, but I remember when I was a little kid. Oh, I shouldn't tell this story; it's too embarrassing.
And yet, you have already got us all the way here. So
I was in church with my grandparents, and sitting there, I must have been 6 or something, and I felt something kind of a cold breeze in my lap area, and looked down and realized not only was my zipper down, but I was hanging out of my zipper.
Your pee-pee was out.
Yeah, which I had no idea how that happened. Maybe, I don't know, maybe the Holy Spirit did it, or
Oh, those nuns can look good every once in a while.
I had
no, they
idea.
don't. That is a fallacy. There is no such thing as a good-looking.
In
nun.
my
No matter
fantasy,
what
they
movie
do,
say-
okay?
Look, I went to Catholic school for 9 years in Utah. I will state that they are never good-looking. They are evil. Sorry, it's a
Ruler-oriented.
Okay,
It's a trigger.
Okay, Bill Frost. That wasn't him.
No.
Bill Frost. What prompted you to start TV Tan, the podcast?
Why do you do anything,
And
really?
and I mean and to go to Tommy Milagro and say, would you like to be on a podcast with me?
Well, everyone else was taken for podcasts. The TV Tan podcast started as a solo project for me, and then a few episodes in, I realized, oh, this is terrible. Just one guy yammering to himself. You got to be really good to do a solo podcast,
Yeah.
and that was not me.
Yeah, I don't think I could do it either.
Yeah, so Tommy expressed interest in doing it. We were hanging out at Brewies, or as we refer to it as the office.
Yep.
And we were talking about TV, and I think someone said, you guys should do a podcast about TV, and it was just that easy.
So
really.
almost 500 episodes ago. So how long ago was that?
That was like 2013.
2013?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've listened to a few of the episodes over the years.
Oh, you're the one.
Since 2013, I've listened to 2 or
That's
3
all.
of
That's
them.
all we ask.
Yeah, and well, I was wondering, you're getting to 500 episodes. Do you now have 500 listeners?
Maybe.
As far as we know.
Do you have any idea how many people listen to it?
No.
Every
Not
once in a
exactly
while.
no, but
Yeah, every once in a while, I come across somebody and goes, "Hey, Milagro from TV Tan." I was like,
I heard you claim on the most recent episode, as a matter of fact, you ran into someone on the street who said, "Aren't you Tommy Milagro, the guy on the TV 10 podcast?" And I said, "That's bullshit. He's making that up right now."
that's Bill's thing.
Yeah, that's what I do. So TV 10, talk about what you do on the show for people who don't know.
basically, the the whole premise is this: we talk TV and drink. That was when.
In
we
what
originally-
order?
It's best summed up by a promo for the Let's Go Eat show from years ago. It says a couple chuckleheads in a basement drinking beer.
Yeah.
That's about it. Yes, I got it. And,
But we also drink cocktails.
and you talk about you do talk about television.
Yeah. It's kind of an extension of what I do on Radio from Hell. A little longer form version of that. And I talk about, here's some new shows coming up this week. Maybe you should check it out. Here's a show from a couple months ago. Maybe you missed it. It's kind of like a movie review show.
And I react to it, and I just go, "Oh, I heard about this," or "No, didn't
And he
realize."
says, "That's brilliant, Bill."
Yeah.
And we just
How do
go
you
from
source
there.
all your information with how do you keep up with everything being released?
I am a TV professional.
Okay.
I've been writing
Very
about
good.
TV for 25 years.
Oh, man.
It's been a job for pretty much that long. I keep up on everything, and I watch damn near everything.
Man.
What people don't know about Bill Frost, maybe if they just hear him on the TV10 podcast or his weekly appearances on the a Radio from Hell show, is that Bill is actually a really quite a good writer, and he when he comes in and talks about stuff on our show, he's prepared. He's got notes most of the time. And
All of the time.
I know you do. He's got notes, and he knows where he wants to go and what he wants to talk about. And he hates it when things get by him. And he also hates it when he recommends certain television shows that I apparently have paid no attention to what he said. And a few weeks later, we'll say, "Hey, there's this great show." And he said, "Yeah, I told you about that a couple of weeks ago." Shows you how well you listen to me, Bill.
But I get more upset when shows get by me. Like currently,
That's what I was going to say.
Baby Reindeer.
Baby Reindeer.
Baby
Oh,
Reindeer.
All the talk on Netflix, and it's like it went right by me.
Yeah. Now see,
Sometimes things slip through.
I was thinking, so when Gina brought Baby Reindeer up, and I was thinking, that must be one of those shows that I didn't listen to Bill.
Not this time.
But no, you just missed it.
Yep. There's so many shows that premiere every week.
There's too many shows.
It's movies. There's only a certain amount of movies that premiere every week, so a movie critic can get them all in. But TV, there's like so many. Even though it's slowed down considerably over the last few years, there's still dozens and dozens of shows premiering every week.
I have things that I start watching and then forget that I'd been watching them.
Yeah.
And they just sort of slip by, and I go, wait a minute, wasn't I watching a show about something? And there is too much.
Oh yeah.
Netflix used to be a lot better at helping you say, "Hey, this is what you're just watching," and last night or last week. But it's more difficult now.
Or they'll just go, "Hey, may we recommend?"
Yeah, it's filled with
or
recommendations.
Would we suggest?
Algorithms.
Yeah.
And that's when it was easier, when there was pretty much just Netflix.
Yeah.
And now there's Netflix and Hulu and Peacock and
Prime
Max and Shudder and Prime and Apple and
Oh yeah.
All of them.
yeah, they're all producing stuff, and all of them are producing stuff of pretty good, sometimes excellent, and usually pretty good quality.
Yeah.
I don't know how any one person could take it all in, unless maybe I'd like to be a shut-in or
You
something.
turn it into a job.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
there
sorry,
you go.
I'm
A
sorry.
jorb. You turn
Thank
it into
you,
a
thank you.
jorb. And then
Jorb.
Yeah.
Jorb.
I for the last 20-something years, I've been paid to write about TV.
How much
Pretty cool.
TV do you watch a week? Do you
A whole
think?
lot.
I mean, way too much.
I don't know about way too much. I have the shows I watch. I use a show tracker to remind myself there's a new episode out. Like Real Good is a very good show tracker.
I was going to ask you about that because I've tried a couple of them, and to kind of keep track, so I didn't lose track of wait
Yeah.
a minute, wasn't I watching that show about that brother and sister and their crazy mom? What's
Yeah.
it called? The Two of Us? Is that what it's called?
The other two.
The Other Two?
Yeah.
See, I just totally lost that show somewhere along the line.
Yeah.
Very good show, very funny.
Yeah,
Lost it.
just use Real Good. It's the best one.
Real, so it's the app is called, is it REEL?
Yes.
Real. I'm
That's
going
what
to do it.
That's what I use.
I used one, and it was, I tried a couple of them, and they were not good.
What do you watch most on? Is it a tablet? Is it your television? A flat screen?
Oh, TV.
yeah, just
Just
real
straight up TV.
Real TV.
Nice.
I can't stand watching anything on a phone or a tablet.
No, I can't
like a
either.
larger format. I
yeah.
love it too. Yeah, I've got a
I can watch on a tablet if necessary, but I don't like to.
in a
That's where
pinch.
I'm at
In a
too.
pinch.
In a pinch. Yeah.
So with all the stuff that's going on TV, when do you ever have the time, do you ever have the time to revisit geez, I mean, because I think, God, I'd like to sit down and watch all the episodes of Deadwood again sometime.
I rarely do, and part of it is because, in addition to a regular jorb, I also do a lot of writing on the sport of professional wrestling. So
America's only real sport.
Thank you. And it's just hard to keep up with that. But
where do you get published with that, by the way, Tommy?
Slamwrestling.net. I've been writing for them for about 3 years now.
Nice.
And basically
They're in Canada.
Yes.
So when everything goes south, we're going to get journalistic extradition.
Yes, we are going to Von Trapp our ass all the way up to the north. So right now, it's just myself and the Frosts that are on board. Sorry for everybody else.
I stole the line, but I like to think of Canada as America's hat.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
My editors will definitely appreciate that.
I just love. Do they pay you for doing that?
Yeah, that's the funny thing. So that's what really kills me when
It's in Canadian coins.
it's still money.
Loonies.
Yes.
That's what the loony.
But as far as revisiting shows, I don't do it a lot. If I do, it's usually on one of these ad-supported free apps like
Tubi
Pluto and Tubi. I'll just stick it on a channel and go, okay, I'll watch a few of these. I haven't seen this in 20 years, like a show like Fast Lane from the early 2000s.
Don't remember it.
Yeah, you shouldn't. It was not good. But
or Blade, that was good.
Blade, the TV series, you know. So, they just have so-called live TV channels, and they're just streaming content all the time, and it's stuff from years ago. It's like, okay, I'll watch a few of these.
You know what's fun to do too sometimes is that, for instance, I never watched Boston Legal when it was on with the Shatner and Spader. I never watched it when it was on. And then, I don't know, I think I was ill or something, and so I just had time to sit and watch TV. And I started watching Boston Legal, and I go, God, this is hugely entertaining.
Oh, yes.
And I would just sit and watch it and watch it and watch it and watch it.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun to find shows like that and catch up with them and learn them.
Oh, there's so many.
I usually try to catch up during the holidays when there's like nothing going on. Like, to your point, I was just rewatching Night Court, the original series. And it was fun just to watch how it started, and then it got great, good, great, and then last two seasons, that's where you stop.
Wasn't that the judge who the character who played the judge? He was a comedian,
Harry magician.
Yeah, comedian magician. Yeah, and almost vaudeville like. He was really clever during the 80s.
I think that's what his training was before he got his break into comedy and TV.
And then John Larroquette, of course, the prosecutor, Dan, whatever his name.
Fielding.
Dan Fielding. John Larroquette is a fantastic actor.
Yeah, he's on the new Night Court, which isn't terrible.
Yeah, and he's
That's
still
the best
alive.
thing I can
That's
say
the
about
other
it. It
important
isn't
thing.
terrible.
Is he theater trained, Bill?
He's a New Orleans guy. He grew up in New Orleans. And the other fascinating thing about John Larroquette is that he is a collector of and a connoisseur of the works of Samuel Beckett. The author Samuel Beckett. As a matter of fact, his name wasn't his name Beckett on some other TV show he did. That one where he was at a bus station or something.
Oh yeah. The John Larroquette show. I think
his character's name was Beckett, as I recall.
It was like John Beckett or Dan Beckett, something like that.
He's very good, and his son is a comedian and a successful podcaster. Am I correct? You guys know about that?
I don't.
A successful podcaster?
Yeah,
thank you.
That narrows it down quite a bit.
I mean, it was his son, and they were on tour. They came in back when we had the cafe at Broadway Media. Their podcast came there, and I can't think of the name of it. Look that up, will you, Dawson?
Well, boys, drink up. I'm going to pop another one, and make sure you eat the Beehive cheese, our sponsor. I don't know if you want to drop that in post, or do you want to read that sponsorship now?
I don't have the copy, so I do have it. Where is it? I just printed. I didn't look at what I was printing, so let's see what I have here. It's really good. Which one? No,
that's
I don't
good cheese.
have it. I don't have it. I mean, I just
pass that down to Tommy if you would. Let him pour that, and then Tommy to Bill, or if you want to pour Bill a little, you're welcome to.
Let me get you, Bill.
Now you can hand me a piece of cheese too, as long as you don't touch it.
All right.
No,
There were a couple of years where I emceed the Utah Cheese Awards.
I judged that once.
Yeah.
Oh, with the what's that guy's name?
Steve German.
Yeah, I judged it once. What a beating that was! Oh my God,
It's a lot of cheese, huh?
I just got to MC the final result, which was fun.
Yeah, I sampled. I think he was there all day eating. I mean, it must have been 200 different cheeses. Local cheeses.
Man,
it was ridiculous. Speaking of food, let's talk about that on TV. What do you have any food shows that you like and recommend, Bill or Tommy?
Usually, when I was working at my old job, they would always have the TVs on to the Food Network, and the one that always gravitated to me was Chopped. And it was just, I don't know what it was. There was just something fascinating about all these chefs trying to create these great delicacies and then getting cut down by a Bobby Flay or whomever. I don't know why. But again, I think I know the answer now. It's basically pro wrestling. It's basically
It kind of is. You're right.
You got to do this competition, but it's scripted in a way that they just go, you did such a fantastic job. However, you just came up short.
How about you, Bill?
I used to like Top Chef, but then Padma left, and I don't care anymore. I don't know if it's necessarily a food-related show, but Bar Rescue
Oh, boy.
is ridiculous.
I only know it because I was on an episode of
Really?
it.
no kidding.
I think I remember
Here in
that.
town?
Okay, yeah.
Gina and I were on
That's right.
What was
out
the
in
bar?
Tooele.
John Taffer out in Tooele.
Nice.
And he's a crazy man.
Yeah.
Did he get rescued?
Yeah. You know what's really amazing about that show, though, because we had a chance to observe how they do it. The crew that surrounds him is brilliant. They come in and they'll take a piece of shit bar and just within an hour, about day and a half, they totally transform it. And it's and then they'll do a space of time where there's a break of a couple of months between when they finish the show.
They'll come back and see if they're still in business.
Yeah, and do that kind of thing. What's going on and how is this working or not working? But he's the one we did. Gina and I did. I don't know if he's like this all the time because he started screaming at one of the managers of this place. And you're an alcoholic. You're a disgrace to your family. You're a disgrace to the community. He took a glass that she had on a tray and threw it, broke it on the ground. And I mean, he was just a brute.
Well, you got to have that every episode.
Do you?
Yeah, it makes for good TV.
And again, comes back to what I'm saying. It's good pro wrestling.
Now, what about the things like the Great British Baking Show? I kind of got hooked on that for a while.
I know people love him. I've
Couldn't
never
do it.
watched him.
Couldn't do it.
Nah.
I couldn't.
It's a slow
I've never
build.
seen it.
The way
Slow
I
burn.
get to all the TV shows I watch, I just it's like cutting something out of your diet. Reality shows. You'll notice I rarely, if ever, bring reality shows to Radio from Hell.
I never watch them either.
However, on our podcast, when we have to talk about reality shows, we pull in the experts like Melissa Merlot, because she watches that stuff. And
Who's Melissa Merlot?
She's a local comedian.
Comedy friend of mine, and she always talks about this show or that show, and she has a great mind for it.
Which is why I'm glad I never got a job at the Salt Lake Tribune, because I would be forced to write about whoever the Utah on American Idol is now, or who's on whatever reality show, who's on Real Housewives. We now have a local woman. I know her, actually. She's on MILF Manor. On TLC.
MILF Man.
Yeah. When I saw...
Wonder if they need a sommelier.
She's been quiet on Instagram. She's been quiet on Instagram for a few months, and then she finally announced, I'm on the new season of MILF Manor. And she's promoting the hell of it. I go, I thought better of you, but okay.
Okay, we're going to take a break here so I can do I finally, we got the copy for Beehive Cheese, and they are a fine sponsor. What variety is this again?
We have the porcini mushroom.
It's very good. In a league of its own, Utah's Beehive Cheese elevates humble cheddar to artisanal greatness with spirited flavors that spark conversation. Okay, see, we've been talking cheese here. Producing award-winning cheeses that bring friends and family together, Beehive Cheese earned first place at the 2022 American Cheese Society competition, and they were named makers of the Best American Cheese at the World Cheese Awards 2021, Earning the Slow Food Snail of Approval late 2022, Beehive Cheese is also one of only 7 American cheesemakers to be B Corp certified. B Corp certified is a designation that businesses meeting high standards of verified performance, accountability, transparency on factors from employee benefits, charitable giving to supply chain practices, input materials. Thank you, Beehive Cheese, for being here. I realize that we also have. Thank you.
This is more production than we're used to.
Yes.
You like cheese, Bill?
I do. Yeah.
But did you enjoy? You did not enjoy, or did you enjoy emceeing the cheese awards?
I did.
Yeah.
I was not part of the judging, so I didn't have to eat like 5 tons of cheese. Yeah. I was just there to bask in the glory of all the winners.
What's is Steve German still around? He must.
Oh
be.
yeah, he's still doing the Utah Cheese Awards.
Yeah,
yeah.
He's never asked me to judge again. I think because at the end of it I said, "Well, that was a beating."
I'm gonna reach out to him and say you should get Bill Allred back.
Tommy Milagro, let's talk a little bit about you. I just so I have these bios here in front of me. I feel compelled to use them.
I'm fine with that.
Born and raised Catholic in Utah, as you could probably tell from his rant about nuns. Writes about professional wrestling and TV10. You must love doing this.
I do love writing about professional wrestling. I have done quite a bit of interviews as well. My most recent one is on Sam Adonis. He told me this story about how he's involved with a brawl with Brian Knobs of the Nasty Boys tag team and New Jack from ECW.
Oh, he's very mean.
Oh, God. Those stories do not even do him justice. But it's always fun to just kind of hear those stories, and that's part of the reason what drew me to Slam Wrestling. Because
you get to meet these guys in person? Because I assume most like those interviews are on the phone.
Yeah, most of the time I do it on the phone. Sometimes I have to do it on video. Some of them have even come into Utah. My biggest opportunity was I was at what's called Cauliflower Alley Club. It's a nonprofit organization designed to help out professional wrestlers in times of need. So they held this banquet.
Was Sean Reyes there by any chance?
No, but Rey Mysterio was. So
Sean Reyes and Rey Mysterio have you never see them in the same room together. So
true, but I will.
There's the mask. Yeah.
I will state this though: of the two of them, one of them is less of a loon, so we know which one is what. But yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Bill, how did you get into writing about TV? I mean, what happened there?
That was a long time ago. It was back in the 90s. I wrote for Slug magazine initially, and every once in a while I would write something once a month. It's usually about music, and every once in a while I would just throw in something about TV. And I thought, I kind of like this. Everyone wants to be a movie critic. There are very few, back then, people writing good TV criticism.
Yeah. I mean, we had one time 2 TV critics here in Salt Lake.
Yeah, neither one of them were any good.
We had Scott.
That's why I started doing it, because they both sucked.
What was that other
static
guy that died?
I don't know.
He was the Tribune guy. I can't think of his name now.
Vince Horiuchi?
No. Yeah. Go ahead and name all the names you remember.
I'm amazed I'm not remembering this much.
No, mostly it was because I saw TV columns in the local newspapers. So I thought, I can do better than that. And I did, almost immediately.
Yeah, and so you went from Slug
to City Weekly.
And there for a long time.
Long time, yeah. And I was syndicated in various other I still am, in various
Dawson,
other weekly newspapers. All right, yeah. And and now I'm at a corporate job where I'm still writing about TV.
I think that's fantastic that you've been able to make some money doing what you like to do. And I mean, it's the same thing for me. I just sort of fell into doing what I do, and now I make money at it. That's interesting.
Yeah, how about that?
And Bill, you should also know Bill Frost is a guitar player with a couple of bands, Magda-Vega and Dead Zephyrs.
Yes.
And I've seen you play a couple of times. And and then I asked you, something about how and you told me you don't read music.
I don't read music.
You just do everything by ear.
Also, I didn't go to journalism school. I didn't go to any writing school at all.
You do writing by ear as well.
Yes, yeah. I just dove in and figured out how to do it.
Cauliflower cursive.
I work with younger people who are still paying off college loans. I go, sucker.
Yeah, you're a lucky man. You found your way into the things you like to do and can do, and you get paid for it.
Yeah.
And you have a wife who works.
Not at the moment, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, good for her.
She's retired.
Oh, good for her.
Oh.
Just don't say that in front of her.
What do you mean retired? No.
Bill, did you check out his answers, these guys' answers to the food questions?
I was just looking at Bill's. I hadn't looked at Tommy's yet.
How do you handle cheese? I love your response. Cheese and I have no problem. We settled out of court years ago.
That's Bill.
This is now you're one of many guests that have responded to to this. What's the wildest thing you've eaten? Was Rocky Mountain oysters?
Yeah, it's a
Really?
very Utah thing.
Why
Yeah.
did you do that?
I was a kid. I was a
You
kid.
didn't know what you were eating?
We were on the ranch, and someone said, "Here, eat this." And then they told us what it was. I go, "Oh, thanks."
Do you remember what it was like?
It was actually not bad. Very, very salty. I remember.
Okay. Favorite meal? Straight up burger, fries, Coke combo.
Yeah, can't beat it.
Burgatory's Van Helsing, garlic burger. Oh, there's this. What was the burger place? That's not the burger place we were talking about. There's a Mexican burger place.
Yeah,
Downtown, Yellow Bill.
Loco Burger.
Yeah,
That's in my neighborhood. Yeah,
that's supposed to be. Fantastic.
It is.
I looked at their menu of burgers.
I've
going,
been there.
Oh
It's
my
great.
God, this
Nice.
is great.
I got to try those guys.
What would you feed your worst enemy? Even though it goes against the Geneva Convention's Olive Garden.
Mrs. Frost and I received a couple of gift cards from relatives one year for Olive Garden. So we said, okay, what the hell? Let's max these out. Let's go. Couldn't even get through like a few bites of it. It's like inedible.
Yeah,
I was. This not even food.
More breadsticks.
Yeah.
And what food could you eat for an eternity? Oh, that's an answer that everybody would say almost, right?
What did I say? I don't
Bacon.
remember. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Making bacon.
But then again, after you have a Baconator, you think, probably not. That's just too much.
Tommy, how do you handle cheese? I'm good with most cheeses except for brie. A triple cream brie? Oh, my God.
Oh, little burgundy. Forgot about it.
I don't know why. I just never really got into brie.
Well,
anything else I'm fine with.
Is there a Mexican version of brie?
If there is, I
It's
am
brio.
not aware of it. Brio?
Sure.
It sounds about right.
The wildest thing you've eaten? Kimchi? Really? That's it?
To date, that is the wildest
I think
thing.
I know her sister, but that. Oh, the pickled fermented.
Donna cheese.
I misunderstood.
Donna cheese. Favorite meal?
Whoa.
You'll be here all week.
What is your favorite meal? Puerco pibil. What is that?
Puerco pibil is a slow roasted pork. It's a dish out of the Yucatan, so it involves a lot of citrus flavors. I would remember watching Once Upon a Time in Mexico. There's this special feature, and there's Robert Rodriguez saying, "This is how you make the Puerco pibil," and I'm like, "Well, hell, I can do this." So I've learned to make it. I've served it to friends, and they're like, "We want this. This is."
Sounds
I
awesome.
don't have a chance to make it very often.
Have you had it, Bill?
Pibil.
Have you had it?
I don't think so, no.
Tom,
I want to try it.
Tom's your friend here. He's
Yeah, what kind of podcast partners are you guys?
I mean, come
Well,
on.
I serve the drinks. I serve the cocktails.
I gotta
That's
cook,
about as
too.
much friendship
We,
as you have.
we spend exactly 1 hour a week together. And that's it.
That's enough, is what he's saying.
This is an anomaly that we're doing
I don't need
this.
to eat with the guy.
Okay, well, let's get a couple of quick questions here, and then we'll do a splash of news. What show would you bring back if you could, Bill? Is there any show you'd like?
I'd like to see a modernized version of Kolchak, the Night Stalker. From the 70s.
Good choice.
Yeah.
Because it was good.
It was really good.
Yeah.
It inspired the entire X-Files series.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I watched a couple of old episodes of it a year or so ago of Kolchak. Darren McGavin was great, just great. He was the dad in Christmas Story.
Yeah. I think he signed on for only to do like a movie. Then he was really pissed off that he got roped into doing a TV series, even though it was a short-lived one.
You know what I think was a good TV series that people would poo-poo now is now I'm going to blank on the name of it. It's what the alien cop and the human cop and
Alienation.
Alienation.
That was a good one.
That was
yeah.
fantastic.
That was a good one, yeah.
The movie was great.
The
with
movie was
Mandy-
great, but the
Mandy
series-
Patinkin. But the series was really good.
Yeah.
Which surprises me.
It was a robust production. They weren't just
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing
taking
about
it
good.
easy.
That's the thing about good sci-fi is that because Alienation, like Star Trek or like anything else, pulled in stuff from real life events and then put it in a way that was easy to translate, and that's why it still resonates with people after all these years.
You can't beat Mandy Patinkin though in the movie of Alien Nation.
Well,
Can't
you're
beat
saying this
Mandy
with a bit of
Patinkin in
bias.
anything.
No, I saw Mandy Patinkin on stage at the Capitol Theater. Just a one-man thing, has a piano, he sings, he dances, he tells stories.
He never topped Run, Ronnie, Run, though.
I never saw that, but I should probably. Let's see, what one TV show would you change to make it better?
How many have we talked about that where the answer is TV10 podcast?
I mean, that you could maybe.
That they hire us as consultants.
Yeah, I mean, this doesn't quite work, but.
Well, this is what we've said, because if the Hollywood elite would just only hire us for the low price of $750,000 per person,
Lowballing,
yeah, that's just piss money right there. What was the one show we were talking about needed to be fixed harder? It was something recent.
There's so many.
Let's see.
There's one I'm watching right now. I'm halfway through it. Apples Never Fall on Peacock. It's based on the Lane Moriarty book. She also did some of those other shows for women of a certain age. Mm-hmm. And what I think Apples Never Fall is, it needs more Alison Brie. Mm-hmm. Because there's one episode where it's kind of focused on her, and she's fantastic. Mm-hmm. And it's like, we need more of her doing in here.
Oh, and circle back to the Chiefs question. That's the one Brie I can deal with. So there we go.
And also Brie Larson.
Sorry, couldn't resist.
All right.
Couldn't resist.
Good circling it back. Circling it back.
All right, let's do a splash of news, shall we, Jimmy?
Sounds great. So here we go. I found this interesting. Brewdog Distilling out of Aberdeenish in the Lowlands of Scotland produces gin, vodka, and rum, okay? So they recently launched a new product line called Duo to the portfolio, which is a marriage of Caribbean and Scottish rums. Infused with spices from across the globe for an authentic taste of the tropics. Scotland has long but often overlooked history of making rum, and Brewdog and their products from the Duo line will put it back on the map. So here's some classic flavors, which I found super interesting. Flavors consist of classic spiced rum, caramelized pineapple rum, pineapple mango, and then coconut and vanilla. So I'll be in Scotland in May, Bill, so I'll see if I can pick up a few bottles for us to try.
Maybe I'll get there for you.
I'm still stuck on the fact that
that's your
Caribbean
splashing
and Scotland somehow mix.
So in the, they have in Campbelltown in the southwest part of Scotland, that was the main port of all import-export. So the Dutch Trading Company, part of the UK, of course, or they handled all the product, while the Brits colonized the Caribbean nations for the rum production as well as other things. So it was a good handshake. So that's why rum. But I had no idea Scotland made rum. I've only been there. This is going to be my sixth trip and fourth tour, so it's going to be interesting.
All right, that's it. That kind of
news.
closes out the show. Thanks to Bill Frost and Tommy Milagro for finding us. I'm not. I thought we told you a different place, and I was hoping that you. But you found.
We were
us.
told different places for a while, so they sort of blend after.
I think, Bill, doesn't your bike need to be fixed?
Yeah. I'll just bring it in and
Yeah.
It's a workspace now, so I'll have to fix it myself.
Thank you very much, for you guys. And people, if you want to hear talk about TV and about drinking, the TV10 podcast. I can't think of any other podcasts that I listen to for TV specifically.
There's some out there.
There are a few.
Ours is the best.
Yeah, of course. TV10 is what it is.
Find it on all your podcast places, or even easier, go to billfrost.tv.
All right. And nice to see you again, Tommy. It's been a while, but
Absolutely.
you are a good soul.
Aw.
A good-hearted soul.
Sweet spirit.
Now,
Yes, I am.
Yes, sweet.
And this simplicity cocktail is even making me sweeter.
Oh.
Listen, we appreciate recommendations, recommendations, or you could just join us live while we record if you like, or if you'd like to just yell at us or say, why don't you get Bill Allred off that show, send us email to the Let's Go Eat Show at gmail.com. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you for watching. And thank you to Beehive Cheese. Thank you to Scotty Evans and the Casat Wine Bar here on 15th and 15th. And that's it. Arrivederci.
Hasta bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of the Let's Go Eat and Drink Show with Jimmy Santangelo. You can contact Jimmy at www.thewineacademyofutah.com. As for Bill Allred, he'll just ignore the emails anyway, so don't waste your breath. Comments, questions, or angry complaints to the management should be directed to the Let's Go Eat Show at gmail.com, where the emails will not be ignored. The Let's Go Eat and Drink Show is produced by Dawson Dow. Our theme music was composed and recorded by Doug Wild. Recording facilities as needed are by the Visit Salt Lake Media Center at www.visitsaltlake.com. The show is a Double Plus production. I'm Zach Caton, and I don't know if you can hear that, but they're installing a door right outside my studio. It sounds like they're doing a pretty good job, judging by all the drilling I'm hearing.